My name is James Yezak. I am a filmmaker, content creator, and activist.
Warm, wet and wild. There must be something in the water. Sipping gin juice.
So tell me just a little bit about what you've done since graduation.
After I graduated UT, I moved to Los Angeles with my former UTLA roommate, and we looked for jobs out there. I did that because I had a passion for the entertainment industry, and I knew Los Angeles was the heart of it and where I wanted to be. And so I think sometimes we think a little too big picture and not enough step by step. And something like going to Los Angeles and becoming part of the entertainment industry and finding a job and excelling at it, the first thing I had to do was just get there. And so right after graduation, I was like, I have to go now, do that now. And I didn't know what job I was going to have, but I went. And so that's why I did that.
Was it difficult to land that job in LA?
Absolutely. It was extremely difficult to find a job in Los Angeles. It was 2009. The economy was, just crap. And our graduation speeches were like, good luck. It wasn't like, you can do it, you're going to go far. It was like, oh, you're graduating. Well, good luck, So there was not a lot of optimism. Everyone thought I was crazy for going out there. Now, why don't you wait a few years until the economy recovers? You don't know anyone. And I was like, no, if you don't do it now, who knows when you'll do it. So that's a big message of mine, do what you want to do now before it's too late. I went out there and it was extremely difficult. No one was hiring. It took me a few months to find anything, and the first thing I found was a job at Zara, which is retail, which is what I did all through high school. Nothing radio, television, film related. And so then I went on to social media, found an internship there, did 3 internships at one time, just to prove to myself, if I can't find a job that pays, then I'm gonna work as much as I can for free. And so I did. And then I started making music videos on YouTube, and those started gaining attention. And then I landed a job at MTV almost a year after being there. I had a job at Buena Murray for about a month before I landed the job at MTV as a logger, but the job at MTV was executive assisting, and it was a really exciting position, so I had to take it.
So then how did you land that first RTF job then?
Honestly, the first RTF job I landed, I'd have to say, was a corporate video for Roll International for their California Cuties brand. And the reason I landed that was because, the reason I've landed all my jobs is because I've always put out into the world my vision and my creativity and my video producing, editing, directing skills. I show that in any way, shape, form I can. Even when I was executive assisting at MTV, I made a goodbye MTV video at the end. There's some way, in everything I do, there's some way I utilize my talents or my skills or what I think I'm good at. So I think by putting it out there, I was able to just show the people around me, everyone in my life and in the world, that knows me so far, I've been able to show them what I'm capable of doing and what my passion is. And I think that translates. And so I think people naturally want to help me become better and do better at what I do.
Do you think that your YouTube success helped you land that job at MTV then?
When I first started MTV, the first thing, first few days, my boss comes by and says, Nick tells me that you were in a video with a wig. And I was like, oh yeah. And so somehow she found, because the first videos were my best friend Scott dressing up and as Britney Spears, because I didn't have Britney Spears and I didn't have a girl version of her. All I had was Scott, who was willing to do anything, threw a wig on him and said, do this, and he did. And then it went viral. And so yeah, she found out about it, and pretty soon everybody knew about it because I was making these videos and they were going viral, and it was on Perez Hilton, and the creative of MTV is following Perez Hilton to see what's hot. So it just happened to translate and cross over.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, how did you at first handle all those successes on YouTube?
When California Gays came out, I was kind of overwhelmed. Well, I didn't really notice it all in real time because I was working at MTV. It came out on, I think, a Thursday, and I had been up all night and I had to work the whole day. So all I was thinking of was how can I stay awake throughout this day and do my job well, in addition to what I've been up all night doing. So I just I would catch glimpses here and there on Facebook, on bloggers, people sending me stuff, texting me. It was chaotic, but it was really exciting. Because not only because of the hype, but mostly because, all these people were watching my work and giving me feedback and commenting on these things that I had spent so much time doing, these edits, these tiny edits here and there, these little creative ideas, these people that I had reached out to, flew into town to be in the video. They were commenting on all of that. They saw exactly what we put together for what it was.
Right, yeah. So that came out while you were at MTV. So then what made you want to leave?
I did a Kickstarter campaign to raise a certain amount of money to make a documentary. And I raised enough money to allow me to leave MTV and get started right away, because I knew it was a documentary that was going to take every effort that I had to make, and I wanted to play all of the roles. I wanted to do it all myself so that I could really learn how to make a film and really get my vision across without any interference from anyone else. So yeah, I felt that it was time for me. I'd been at MTV long enough to learn what I needed to learn in production, and so it was time for me to leave there. In fact, what kind of gave me the push to do my campaign was my boss saying, like, hey, your 2 years is almost here, where are you going next? And I said, well, I kind of have this one idea, and I went with it, and it worked, and so I was like, all right, I'm leaving. And so I left, and I've been making the film since then. And I just recently went back to work on a show they're casting, because they know that I can edit and record videos well, so they wanted me to help with the auditioning process, which is what I'm doing now.